Legendary comedian Carol Burnett is also a mother of three. After gaining recognition on Broadway, Burnett went on to star in films like Annie and Noises Off and on television with her trailblazing show, The Carol Burnett Show. She has been married 3 times. From 1955 to 1962, she was married to Don Saroyan, her college lover. Carrie, Jody, and Erin were the couple's 3 daughters from their 1963 marriage to Joe Hamilton, a producer on her program and her second husband. After their 1984 divorce, Burnett wed guitarist Brian Miller in 2001. Burnett told a tale about her experience as a young mother in the comedy industry following the 2016 SAG Awards. Her friend Lucille Ball gave her a baby shower in a style that only the I Love Lucy actress could when she became pregnant with Jody. "It was a black tie baby shower, with men attending," stated Burnett. Comedian Gary Morton was her spouse. He performed routines on everything and opened the baby gifts. "It was among the most absurd things ever." Burnett constantly emphasized to her kids the value of pursuing their own creative endeavors as a mother. In 1978, Burnett said to Interview magazine, "I've always been asked why I don't put my daughters on television. Listen, my old mother didn't have a show of her own, I remark every time. Give them what is theirs." Still, all of Burnett's children ended up working in the industry. Carrie, who passed away in 2002, was an actress and writer. Jody produces movies and hosts podcasts, and Erin sings. She made the decision to be open and honest about her family's history of addiction, starting with her parents, as her girls grew older. Since then, she has pushed for services for families dealing with loved ones' struggles, such as Al-Anon and Alateen. Burnett described the support groups to Marlo Thomas as something that helps you realize that you're not the problem. You are not their cause, nor are you able to heal them. Thus, you must take care of yourself. All of the information regarding Carol Burnett's kids may be found here. Carrie Louise Hamilton, the oldest child of Burnett and Joe Hamilton, was born in New York City on December 5, 1963. Despite being a Broadway success at the time, Burnett didn't establish herself as a legitimate television star until The Carol Burnett Show debuted in 1967. However, Burnett admitted in 1978 to Interview that her children didn't actually watch her shows. "Well, it depends who the guests are," she replied. When Steve Martin was a guest, they were very interested in attending the recording. "My eldest child is a harsh critic. In my opinion, children should be introduced to the networks and given content appropriate for their age group. Young people are incredibly truthful. They are honest to the core." Carrie started doing drugs and drinking excessively when she was a teenager. Her 3 stints in rehab preceded her sobriety. In 2016, Burnett told People, "I'm happy to say she got off drugs, but those 3 years it was hell. Before she turned 18, I had to check her into a treatment facility, and she detested me for it. She detested what I was doing to her." In 1979, Carrie talked about her experiences with addiction in an interview with People. "I was always Carol Burnett's daughter," declared the 15-year-old. "I was no longer who I was when I got high. My desire was to have my own image." Although the mother and daughter didn't get along well at first, they finally made up and became very close. Carrie went on to achieve success in her studies at Pepperdine University, where she focused on acting and music. She sang with a band called Big Business and made appearances in films like Tokyo Pop and television series like Fame. From 1994 until 1998, she was wed to musician Mark Templin. Carrie never got to witness her work on stage, but she and her mother worked together on a play called Hollywood Arms, which was based on Burnett's 1986 memoir One More Time. On August 20, 2002, she passed away from pneumonia associated with her lung cancer, which had been identified in August 2001. Her age was 38 years old. That spring, Hollywood Arms was supposed to launch at Chicago's Goodman Theater. Burnett wanted to cancel it in her grief. She then stated, "Carrie passed away and I'm her mom and I didn't want to get out of bed," when she was a guest on the Dear Multi-Hyphenate podcast in 2022. Miller, her spouse, urged her to carry on nevertheless. And my husband, we were going into previews, said, Carol, you owe this not only to Carrie but you owe it to director Hal Prince to finish. When Burnett was traveling to Chicago by plane, she remembered asking her late daughter to send her a sign that she would be there in spirit. A bouquet of birds of paradise was waiting for her when she arrived at her hotel. Burnett went on, Carrie had a bird of paradise tattooed on her right shoulder. I asked Hal over the phone, how did you know? Carrie's favorite flower was the one. I didn't, he replied. I just remarked, send up something unique to Carol's room, and I phoned down. The restaurant gave her a bottle of free champagne for supper the following night. Louise was written on the label, Burnett remarked. That was Carrie's middle name and my mother's name. There is always a connection between Burnett and her late daughter. She never leaves me, Burnett said in an interview with People. I just feel her. In her cover story for People in April 2023, the comedian repeated the same. When it comes to Carrie, there's not a day or almost a moment that goes by that she's not with me, she added. We shared laughs, tears, and worked together as a team. She has immense power. On January 18, 1967, Jody Hamilton, the second child of Burnett and Hamilton, was born in Los Angeles. In 1999, my parents were really awesome, her sister Erin said to People. They wanted me and my sisters Carrie and Jody to go through whatever we had to go through to find out who we are. Burnett and Hamilton moved Jody and Erin to live with friends in Hawaii during their divorce in the early 1980s so they wouldn't have to watch their marriage dissolve. It was something that we all kind of knew was happening, Erin said. We told them to do whatever they had to do to be happy. Jody is a producer for TV shows and movies presently. She, Carrie, and other artists established Namecuff, an independent film studio, in 1998. Under the firm, Carrie wrote and directed 2 short films. More than 30 million people watched Carol Burnett, Showstoppers, a 2001 retrospective of Burnett's early career that Jody also produced. A few months after Carrie was diagnosed with lung cancer, the show debuted. At first, Burnett intended to cancel, but before she passed away, Carrie said, "You have to do this, Mom," according to Burnett's co-star Tim Conway, who subsequently told People. Jody has co-hosted the podcast From the Bunker since 2014. She resides in Los Angeles with her spouse, musician and songwriter Lonnie Paul Johnson, according to the Wall Street Journal. Erin Kate Hamilton, the youngest of Burnett and Hamilton's daughters, was born in Los Angeles on August 14, 1968. She remembered what it was like to have a superstar mother and to visit her mom's show set as a child in a 1999 interview with People. It captivated me, Erin remarked. And she captivated me. However, it appeared typical, "Oh, Mom is dressing up." Erin enrolled at Vermont's Bennington College after high school, but she left to tour with the Grateful Dead across the nation. She eventually desired more. "I decided I wanted to be the band that people followed," she stated, instead of always following the band. After training as a professional vocalist, she started singing in jazz and blues bands before launching a solo dance music career. After the release of her album One World in 1999, she has gone on to open for performers such as Whitney Houston and Bette Midler. Erin wed guitarist Trey Carlson in 1995. Before being divorced in 1998, the pair had a kid named Zachary. After that, she wed Tony West, with whom she has a son named Dylan. Erin has spent a large portion of her adult life battling addiction. According to the court document, Burnett and Miller requested legal guardianship of Erin's son Dylan in August 2020 due to addiction issues and other circumstances affecting Erin. In a statement to People at the time, Burnett stated, "Guardianship will be for oversight purposes concerning his health, education, and welfare and not intended to deny him nor the parents proper visitation with one another. We look forward to recovery being the next stepping stone towards normalization and ask for privacy at this time to allow that process to occur." In September 2020, Dylan was given interim guardianship by Burnett and Miller. A permanent guardian was appointed in 2022. Prior to turning 90 in 2023, Burnett said, "Life can change on a dime," reflecting on the lessons she had learned as a mother. Thus, simply express gratitude for what you have today. Regarding the legacy she wants to leave, she continued, saying, "I made people laugh and feel good when they might have been down. Many of my fans have told me in fan mail that it was the one occasion when the family would gather together to laugh and watch. And that our show would sometimes lift their spirits when they were feeling down. It feels good to hear that."